I think that's gonna be what gets him. He's gonna run out of ectoplasm or necroplasm. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Rain. Welcome back to another reaction video. This is yet again another death battle. This is Spawn versus Ghost Rider. Two of the, undead warriors. Two of the, a Hellspawn versus, the Spirit of Vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who I got when. I don't know a lot about Spawn. Oh, I wish I should get deeper into his lore, but Ghost Rider, I know a good bit about him. I'm gonna go with Ghost Rider just because Ghost Rider is hard to kill, but Spawn kills demons and spirits like that on the regular, I'm sure. So he may have some hope. Oh, actually, I think Ghost Rider can be harmed by holy weapons. Either that or I'm thinking about Spawn. One of them can be harmed by holy weapons, I believe. So Spawn in his holy form might be good, but if what is the Spirit of Vengeance name? Y'all know what I'm saying. If the Spirit of Vengeance comes out, I think Spawn loses that. But yet again, I do not know. Let's get a full breakdown and we'll see what they're talking about in today's death battle. Let's go. It's a different animation style. Okay.
Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
The Spirit of Vengeance versus the Dark Angel of Armageddon.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Hey, leave who y'all think is gonna win down in the chat,
Blaze
man.
has always been a man possessed, chasing the thrill of certain doom by performing death-defying stunts, following the example of his adoptive father, Crash Simpson.
Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer. Heartbroken and without enough Wampa fruit to save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could. Chemotherapy.
The devil.
Oh!
To cure Crash's cancer, Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell.
Oh yeah, that is
For Crash
Mephisto.
to
There's another movie
actually
too.
live up to his name right after.
But instead of scooping up Johnny's soul, Mephisto had something else in mind. He bound Johnny to an instrument of divine wrath, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance.
So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into hellfire. An undead skeleton biker
One
with
of
a
my
sick
favorite
ass
characters
hug.
in Marvel.
The 5th scariest Nick Cage
That movie.
performance.
Hey, hot take, man. The OG Ghost Rider movie is hated on for no reason. I guess Nicolas Cage and a lot of his movies feel the same because he's not, he's not the greatest, but I don't know. I feel like people just thought he was getting these roles because of who he is. So I think he did. I think he killed it. I love the entire design. I love everything about the movie. As a kid, watching that in like 2000. I think I watched it in 2010. I was a youngin' back then, boy. That movie was fire, and it sparked a love for this character that I will always have. Johnny Blaze, Robbie Reyes, the OG 1000 BC. Like, bro, the Spirit of Vengeance is such a cool concept, a cool character. That is not just Johnny. Most characters are, just the main vessels, but Zarathos had, we don't even know how many. We just know about the OG with the mammoth. We know about Robbie. I forget the guy's name. It's the grave digger. I forget his name. And then we got Johnny. Like, those are 4. Now, Johnny is the main one. Oh, and Punisher. Like, there's been so many Ghost Riders. And, like, all of them have different feats and just incredible things going for them. So, Ghost Rider is a very, 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 very near and dear character to my heart, bro. Like, growing up watching, I watched that movie 1,000 times. I know.
A stuntman from hell. He called himself the Daredevil.
Sorry, Johnny, that name's taken.
Okay, then how about the Ghost Rider?
Sure, we definitely didn't forget that we named the character the same thing only 5 years earlier. All you.
The Ghost Rider was bad news for Earth's sinners and scumbags. He's strong enough to pull down skyscrapers, blow up mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across whole countries.
Don't even think about fighting back. He can remake his whole body from the hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to all physical damage. Only holy weapons that target his soul can harm him.
It's not just his body. His whole arsenal is hellfire. Ghosty can create anything he can think of, from an infinite stream of chains, a shotgun packed with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barbed right out of his mouth. life goals.
And he can imbue other objects with hellfire, such as his Hell Cycle.
This badass bike can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Hellfire is a weapon in and of itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky, or released from his...
his boner, Wiz.
Sorry to keep pausing him once again, but I think that movie is what killed Ghost Rider for a lot of people. The first one was so good, and I'm not gonna lie, the cinematics of it were very good in the second one. I feel like if they redesigned the suit, you know, instead of just make it chargedness, you know, gave him his jacket back, it would have been a little bit better. You know, give it a better plot. The plot was a bit shaky. He's supposed to be killing. You know what? We're not gonna talk about it. If you haven't seen that movie, go check it out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Go watch the first and second. So let me stop pausing. Let's get through this video.
Get it? And it doesn't just scorch flesh. Hellfire is so deadly, it can burn away your very soul.
This technique would be mastered by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider, and Danny was the first to master their most famous move. You know, the one that burns your soul to smithereens with just a look? The Penance Stare.
The Penance Stare inflicts upon its victims every ounce of pain they ever wreaked upon others. Every cruelty, no matter how small or righteous, is reflected back. A biblical punishment.
Obliterating your soul. It even works on other Ghost Riders, like when Johnny and Danny got into a staring contest and Danny actually depowered Johnny.
Eyes are windows to the soul, so the Ghost Rider must be able to match his victim's gaze for the Penance Stare to work. Some people have survived it, like the Punisher supposedly because he didn't regret his actions, but it did work on him on other occasions.
Well, Johnny can adjust how deadly it is, and it doesn't necessarily have to kill you. He can use the stare to read minds, force you to confess info, or just show you the error of your ways.
Remember, the Ghost Rider is two souls in one body, with the kinder Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
Classic Faustian bargain. All the power in the world, but if you want it, it uses you. Because if Johnny gives in, the demon's full might will take over, and then everything is screwed.
Zarathos' strength is boundless. He can open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, penance stare an entire city, and fly all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
He's manhandled some of Marvel's heaviest hitters, like Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Hell, Strange said Zarathos is a threat to all realms, mortal and immortal.
Hyperbole? Think again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the power of the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven itself.
Right before an army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
As far back as the Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth. A sort of heavenly black ops.
Okay, wait, does that make Zarathos an angel now? Or is he still a demon?
Both? Neither? Despite being one of the greatest entities in existence, it's unclear. What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore. Hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge against that big red bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had one more day to fix that hole in your chest, huh?
Comic book fan punching bag though he may be, Mephisto is unbelievably powerful. A battle with him could cause omniversal Armageddon. Fitting as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus's fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse. That's the kind of awesome power at Zarathos' disposal. Total cosmic annihilation.
So it was no surprise when Johnny went down to the underworld and took Hell's throne for himself, usurping the devil that ruined his life and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power of hell itself, plus a sick-ass upgrade, the Damnation Stare, which skips the whole every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell. No shot.
As they say though, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of Hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again, Johnny Blaze was a man possessed.
In truth, Johnny was just as trapped by Hell's power as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within, mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance, always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance, could make Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
Cause they sure as hell won't find any in his. If Al Simmons was one thing, he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S.
I still love
Army
this
and the
movie too.
CIA's most
Not as good as
favorite
Ghost Rider,
assassin,
but
Simmons
I love Michael
upheld
Jai White.
democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until his final fateful mission when, per his boss's orders, Al was fired.
The burning was only getting started because Al's immortal soul was on a one-way trip to hell.
Where he cut a deal with Malvosia, the big, naked lord of the 8th Circle of Hell.
By their pact, Simmons would be reborn a Hellspawn, a superpowered commander of Hell's armies, in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get monkey's pawed.
Al Simmons returned from the dead as a decaying zombie 5 years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
There, you saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was born the undead warrior from hell itself, Spawn.
He's so 90s that he comes all the way back around to being the coolest thing ever. Look upon his edge, wizard, and despair.
Spawn would violently defend New York's downtrodden, while slowly uncovering the full breadth of his demonic powers.
He's like a walking superpower encyclopedia. He can fly, teleport, turn invisible and intangible, move things with his mind, make force fields, control the elements and the weather, and even stop time. Speaking of time, he can fly so fast, he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting other objects and people. He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he just fix his uggo face?
Well, he tried to do that, but Malvosia cursed him so that he could only make himself... yeah.
Oh, it's petty trolling like that gets you a throne in hell.
To be fair, Spawn can achieve a similar result with illusions and mental manipulation. He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories, or simply drive you mad.
Spawn can do all of this crazy shit because he runs on necroplasm. Basically, hell juice.
You're not wrong.
Spawn
Necroplasm
have a
is the
game?
energy that makes up hell itself. Al's undead body is composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed off of it. By simply walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of 8 million New Yorkers instantly, cleansing them of their evil.
Like Jesus?
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own sins, feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole
So
life.
basically a penance
Like
stand.
some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes with a catch.
Yeah, he's got a limited amount of the stuff, and it drains every time he uses his powers. If he runs out, he's dragged back to hell.
Even depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training in hand-to-hand combat. He's even fought Batman to a standstill.
And as befits his past profession, he loves his big-ass 90s guns.
Though his greatest weapon is the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever wonder why his cape's red? Nope, well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million sinners, including every one of Hell's victims. Also a touch of vampire for good measure.
K7 Letha is constantly evolving. It can act independently to defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains, transform into weapons, or drain people of their power. It is the most potent weapon Hell has ever created.
It even helped Spawn beat the primordial dark god Urizen, who can destroy and eat your soul with just a glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hellspawns have a weakness to holy weapons and can be killed permanently if decapitated by one.
Though Spawn has managed to survive this in the past.
I was right about both.
Spawn's greatest weakness is his own, how do I put this? Stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady, Angela. Great name for an angel. She had this dimensional lance that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence, and Spawn got it. But instead of, being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so, Spawn was forever destroyed, until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
There we are, good as new. That has to be the first time we've seen someone accidentally kill themselves and survive.
On his quest as Hell's greatest warrior, Spawn has defeated a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade by Heaven into an anti-Spawn. He's even encountered other Hellspawn.
Killing bad guys might seem counterintuitive if you work for a Hell Lord, but it actually just adds more souls to Malvosia's army. An army Spawn would have to lead in a war with Heaven that had killed all of humanity.
Because the reason Malvosia chose Al to be his commander wasn't that he was some great warrior. It was because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life and all his death, Al was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to Hell and ripped Malvosia's head off. With a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality, Spawn became the king of the 8th circle of Hell.
As king, Spawn is literally a part of Hell itself, gaining access to an unlimited pool of energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there, and strong enough to challenge other Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between Heaven and Hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created this god and Satan to begin with, the mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids being total assholes, so she appointed Spawn to be the universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the Tree of Life, Spawn became truly
So Spawn is effectively DC's Kratos. There are very big parallels between this nigga and Kratos is what I'm seeing. But this fight's gonna be close for me.
divine, capable of battling God and Satan in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Then, just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Poof! Good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of heaven and hell, Al asked to be reborn as a human. But he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can angstingly brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware, because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for one hell of a death battle!
This is gonna be crazy. I'm ready, boy. Because now, these niggas seem like they don't even fight. Even footing.
Nights like these drive men insane. Brimstone in the air. Something's coming. If it wants a piece of me, there'll be hell to pay.
Go back to the pit you squirmed from, Hellspawn.
Make me.
Dang. Ghost Rider ain't obey. Hit him with the bite.
If you care, it's nothing personal. Vengeance calls.
Which version of Ghost Rider is this? I think that's gonna be what gets him. He's gonna run out of ectoplasm or necroplasm or whatever it's called.
Sloppy, you fight like a bum.
You've earned your damnation.
So now see you about to transform. Yep. So he's about to go in the King of Hell mode.
Welcome to hell.
Yeah, you gave him another vehicle. What? Oh yeah, they did say you freeze time. Dang.
Be damned.
Zarathustra? Oh, he killed the vessel. He did kill the vessel. He's going fine, ain't he? This is going. I think Spawn's about to win. Nah.
Holy cannot disguise your wickedness. God forbid.
Oh my god. Date! Come on, Zarthos! Come on! There you go, boy. Grab him. Got him. He took his divinity from us.
Your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul.
Oh my god.
I eat sin for breakfast.
Oh,
Have a
snap.
taste of your own goddamn medicine.
No way, that's it.
Wait, I'm an innocent.
He hit it, stared the Ghost Rider. Yo! No way. No way Zarathos lost. He pulled it from Johnny! No way.
Like you
That's
said,
not it. That's not it.
Personal asshole.
KO! God damn!
Literally. This was a nail-biter of a battle that pitted Ghost Rider's immeasurable power against Spawn's skill and versatility. Let's break this down into 4 categories.
First up, power. Divine Spawn could match
I
God
knew it.
Satan, who could create
That's how I knew.
universes. Similar in scale to
Ah.
Ghost Rider's bouts with a lot of the
Damn.
powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic reality, far greater than any cosmos Spawn has ever affected. Even though Spawn's battled and defeated Satan in more recent comics, implying he's retained a level of power similar to his divine form, he couldn't match Zarathos in power alone.
Ghost Rider may take power, but remember, Johnny actively resists Zarathos' influence, so Spawn may have had time in the fight to learn and adapt to Ghost Rider before he went full Blue Fury.
And Spawn definitely had the edge in
In skill,
He
yep.
spent decades in military combat and is a master martial artist, whereas Johnny more so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate dream power for a stuntman. Even with his crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn, pretty much entirely focused on attacking the soul.
Which doesn't bode well for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn intangible, control minds, warp reality. The Ghost Rider had a much more limited arsenal by comparison. Spawn had a huge advantage in this category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly. The last piece of the puzzle is their resistances. Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the penance stare, just like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all, remember the time he rewrote reality to undo his own inexistence?
There was nothing the Ghost Rider could do to overpower that, and that time with the lance wasn't planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you can't. At least Johnny and Zarathos couldn't.
Unlike how Ghost Rider Soul has been vulnerable to attack before, like when Danny used the penance stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating souls, he can replicate the effect of the penance stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he's ever done. A penance squared.
The damnation stare, on the other hand, actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power boost.
And it wasn't just Spawn's soul powers that had spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too, like transmutation, rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost Riders in the past.
Giving Spawn the final edge. Zarathos was almost unbeatable, a massive power advantage, soul destruction, immortality, but Spawn could counter everything thrown at him, and was too unkillable for Zarathos' strength advantage to matter in the long run against his crazier abilities.
That was one hell of a fight, and at least Johnny went out in a blaze of glory.
The winner is Spawn.
Next time on Death Battle.
Oh, Mahito versus old dude. I don't care about my hero like that, and I don't want to watch nothing else with Mahito in it. So we just gonna move on from it. But y'all, that was crazy. I thought Zarathos and Johnny had it in the bag. Again, don't know too much about Spawn, but Spawn has bag. It's deep. Once they started going down, I'm like, damn, this dude has a lot more than Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider doesn't have, half as many skills as he does. And the fact that once they said he can do a penance stare, I was like, oh, that's going to be tricky. I don't think, Ghost Riders have been through that. So, just like they said, they're powered, they've been depowered by other penance stares and all that anyway. So, like, once they said that, I was like, ooh, how is that going to fare? But I thought Zarathos himself could resist it. I thought it was just the vessels. But no, I guess he technically did, and then he pulled it from Johnny, and he just crushed it. But that was insane. I very well done. I loved it. And I had a feeling once he reached divinity, he would have a way of killing them anyway, because, they say divine weapons, and Spawn is a divine weapon in that moment. But I liked how they didn't just use that as the final crutch and use other abilities. So Deathbattle definitely got better over the years. They've given more explanations, and they, are backing up their stuff a little bit more. But anyway, enough yapping for today. Man, this was a great video, y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure to leave your favorite part of the video down in the comments below. And I'll see y'all in the next reaction video. Deuces.